Hi, I'm Janie Lee Grace from Holistic Business Success, and I'm absolutely thrilled to be joined by Mary Jane de Havas, who is a classically trained singer and voice coach and singing teacher and all things voice. And I really, really appreciate you joining us. Now, lots of people will say, I can't really sing and I don't really like my speaking voice. What do you say?
Well, everyone that can speak has a voice, and it's an instrument that you maybe have to learn to play. And if someone in fact says to me that they don't like their voice, or that when they sing it's completely out of tune, I take that as a very, very good sign, because it means that they've got a good ear. And if they can hear that it's out of tune, then they can be taught to sing in tune. Normally the sounds that are not nice in someone's voice are to do with the way they're playing it. So tensions and stress, substance abuse, smoking, lack of hydration.
Sure. So it's an instrument. This is what we forget. The voice is like an instrument. I know you said to me, what was you were saying about, it's almost like if you found a violin in the attic.
Yes, if you found a Stradivarius violin,
one of the
best ever
one.
violins in the attic, and you picked it up and had to go playing it,
would
you
sound
might
terrible.
think, oh, it sounds terrible, I've got a terrible violin, and actually it would be the way that you were playing it that was terrible.
So that's quite encouraging then. So we can all recognise that we have a voice and look after it and learn how to use it properly. But what about for people who are not necessarily wanting to sing, but they do want to give presentations and performances? Do we have to look after our voice, or does it just always rock along naturally for us?
No, you do need to look after it, and also if you are someone who doesn't speak very much normally at all and then expects to speak for 6 hours a day through a long conference, then that's not going to happen. You need to build vocal stamina, and also make sure that the way you're speaking isn't causing any unnecessary stress to your voice, so that you can speak for long periods without your voice giving out on you.
How do we do that then? I mean, I know that part of your work, we'll get onto confidence and stuff in a moment, but I know part of your work is even working with people who have really serious problems with their voice. And I know you believe that it's about prevention. So even if we're not going to be speaking for 6 hours, is there any simple tips that we can remember to prevent ever getting to that stage where our voice kind of gives out on us?
Hydration is key. Good sleep is key. Having relaxed neck and shoulders is key, and the breathing is very important, because it's basically a wind instrument. Yes,
absolutely. So we need oxygen. Yes, absolutely. Well, that brings us then to the whole issue of confidence and how we prepare for a presentation or a speech. And for someone who's feeling very nervous, that's when you can feel as if your voice is literally going to crack on you. And it's a terrible feeling of panic. So what would you recommend? I appreciate it's a huge topic, but just to give us a couple of tips as to what we can do to calm our nerves and, as you say, perhaps breathe correctly.
I think the key to getting rid of all stage fright and nerves is to realise that you only have to be yourself. It's when people are trying to do something or trying to be something very special and out of touch with themselves, and then they get nervous because they're faking and they're trying to be something they're not. If you're totally accepting of who you are, all your imperfections, where you are today and everything about you, and just that you're going to give everything you have and enjoy it, then there won't be any nerves.
And how do we breathe to make sure that we have enough oxygen?
Well, you breathe all day.
Yes, absolutely, So we shouldn't focus on it too much.
Your body knows how to breathe.
Yeah.
If you were to have to suddenly run for a bus, your body would know how to breathe. It would be a different type of breathing than if you're asleep, for instance, or laughing or crying or making love. So your body knows how to breathe, and there's no one right way to breathe. And it's more a question of letting it and not interfering. If it's working for you, if it's not working for you, you might need to have some help with it and some gentle interference.
But you wouldn't, I mean, the reason I say this is because I know that, you know, if you're about to go on stage, there can be a tendency to think, I must take really deep breaths, or the opposite, and you start very, very shallow breathing. So if we do become, and I mean, you're right, of course, when you say we breathe all day, so it's best just to get on with it, sort of thing. But if we do become conscious of it, as we might if it's just before a performance, is there one good tip you could give us, or one good exercise that just might help us get back in touch with that and be calm?
Sometimes that change in breathing before a performance, depending on what your performance is, you might want to be very energised and almost do a bit of boxing in the wings before you go on,
right,
to get your breathing going. Or sometimes I talk about breathing like a removal man. For some opera, you need to breathe like a removal man. So a bit of pushing and pulling and lifting, and
right.
It's a different sort of breathing. And adrenaline affects the breathing, so
Yes.
it will affect your breathing before you go on. But it has to be something that you welcome, that adrenaline is coming in there, because it kicks in and it does make you feel different. And some people are put off by that. They think, oh my God, I'm breathing differently and feeling differently. But actually that is really good, and welcome it and enjoy it. It's a great drug.
Okay, great. All right. So you don't think there's any particular technique that we need before a performance or before a speech?
Well, some people need calming down and other people need hyping up.
If you did need calming down,
if you
what
needed
would be a
calming
simple
down,
tip?
then a simple one would be just blowing out. And if it was with voice, if I just demonstrate the with voice, so and then just relaxing for a while and letting the air go down, and then another one. Very nice one.
Most people say they can't do that.
Well, they can do it. They can maybe do it without the voice. Just
Okay. Okay. What's interesting there is you're really getting all the air out, aren't you?
yeah, all the air goes out,
Right.
then you let go, and the air goes down,
Right. Okay.
because your body knows how to breathe.
Sure. So, which is totally the opposite from this feeling of needing to, yes, exactly, expand. Okay, great. Oh, that's really, really helpful. Good. Okay. So, Mary Jane, if people would like to contact you, you work one-to-one with people for voice sessions.
Yes, and I also do some public workshops in front of audiences and teach in public. And so that's, as well as singing in public, the closest I get to public speaking is teaching in public and speaking in front of an audience that way.
Great. Mary Jane de Havas, thank you very much. We really appreciate it.